Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio with Preston, the sports cheetah. We're bringing it back, the popular segment, Ask Cheetah. And we got you guys ask the questions, you answer them. And we've got 3 of them for you this week. And the first one comes from Twitter. Slinger asked, regarding college football, are you strictly a numbers guy? And what factors are important to you? So kind of 2-part question for you.
Yeah, the base of everything I do for college football is numbers, whether they're power ratings or I actually have, a model that'll give like a projected score for each team, which you can kind of use as a spread measure. And along with the power ratings, I think you can generally get a really good base from the numbers. But you can't just blindly bet the numbers, especially in the middle of the season to the late parts of the season in college kids. We're going to get to a question about that later. But there's so many situational things that come up. And just factoring in, I think something that's undervalued in general when it comes to handicapping is just scheming and the impact a certain type of offense has against a certain type of defense, or vice versa. Certain defenses match up better against certain types of offenses or worse against certain types of offenses. And so being able to recognize and know, which coordinators are running what types of offenses and defenses, and when they meet, how is that going to play out more often than not? And so you have to incorporate all of it. It's a big equation. There's a lot of variables, but hopefully at the end of the day, the numbers and with everything else, you have a bet that's going to win more often than not.
And also in college football, I'm sure you factor it into your numbers. You're constantly changing them, but you see teams that don't bring back many starters on a particular year, and they start out here, but as the season progresses, sure, you've got, you get that continuity, especially on an offensive line. If you're missing several offensive linemen that graduated, it's not going to be the same in September as you're going to get play in November from that offensive line. It's going to be much better.
Yeah, one of the lengthiest processes, I guess, of all of this is in college sports, so football and basketball, is adjusting numbers every week. And you have to do it, especially for football. College, you could even do it every day because they're playing 2 or 3 games a week sometimes. So it's very long. You have to look at injuries and then that type of stuff, experience and certain, continuity like you're talking about. And it's a long process, but you have to do it. Otherwise, you're just going to be behind, and you're not going to win if you're betting from behind.
Absolutely. Next question we have, staying on the college thing, comes from Daniel Maurice. He wants to know, college kids are pretty unreliable. Why are you so high on betting college sports?
It's the worst for college basketball, and free throw shooting down the stretch tilts me beyond measure. But
we'll save a tilt for later. We got a question coming about tilt.
That is the third question. But I don't know if it's because I played basketball a lot, and I could probably make, people laugh at me for saying this, but I'll bet anyone I can make 90% of my free throws, and they'd probably lose more often than not. And so when kids miss free throws late, it just is the absolute death for me. And it seems to always happen against you, right? So for what it is, though, you kind of have to take it as part of the variance, which is betting on sports in general. But kids are unreliable. Numbers aren't as unreliable as kids, and ultimately the kids equal this number, or the math says this, and so in a vacuum, over the course of an entire season, you feel like you have an edge, and that edge is going to give you a profit or a return on your investment. So ultimately it is harder, I guess. But sometimes, you're watching NFL games or NBA games, and you're a professional. This is what you do for a living. How did you drop that pass? So it goes both ways, I think, ultimately. Whether you're a professional or a kid, everyone makes mistakes. The game is a gamble in its sample size of 1, always. There's never a lock here or there. Mistakes happen or weird things happen. Officiating's another big variable that you can't really control. But for me, the edge really comes, I think, just from having smaller schools and a lot more games and a lot more volume to actually bet at. And so in turn, you turn a bigger profit.
All right, I got a question for you there, because it's just running through my head. You said you can make 90% of your free. What's the sample size?
Like at least 50. If you give me 50 free throws or more, and I just sat there, and I could hit 90%.
90% of them?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to issue a challenge right now. We're going to make, we get, you're talking some smack now, so, we can do, you want indoor or outdoor? Does it matter?
Oh, indoor. Outdoor with some wind or something, or a rim that I don't know as well. Yeah, I would say indoor as a.
Okay, you find us the place to do it.
All right.
We'll videotape it, and I'm going to set the number. We're going to have to set the line, the money line. You got to hit 90%. You want to go 50 or you want to go 100 free throws?
We can just do 50. It'll be
50?
shorter. The video will get watched if we do
Okay.
less.
All right, 50, and we'll have a prop bet. Poker players love to do prop bets, so
It'll be fun.
We'll let the audience decide what the number should be.
That could be.
The money line.
Some of the audience will remember a few years ago I did one for 3-point shooting. There was a guy, Huck Seed, pro poker player. Now this video is going to go long, and Johnny's going to get mad at us, so maybe we'll save the other question for another week. But he was here to play World Series of Poker, to play all the tournaments, and he wanted to get a workout in and exercise, and so he wanted to shoot, I believe it was 9,000 3-pointers over the course of the summer, and he wanted to hit X percent, just to say that he could hit X percent and get money on it. So I did that, and I booked a bunch of people from Twitter, and I told him I could hit at least 60% from 3 on 9,000 attempts, and I had to shoot at least 250 a day. And they all bought out halfway through, because I was at like 63 or 64%. So people underrate like there was a contest a couple years ago, All-Star break, Kevin Durant versus Rajon Rondo, a horse tournament during the All-Star weekend. Rondo hit like 9 threes in a row, just standing there, undefended, not defended, just looks, it's easier to shoot when you aren't guarded than maybe, players make it seem when you're watching them play in the NBA on TV or whatever. So we'll get that prop bet.
We'll get that prop bet, and we'll do it.
We'll
stream it, and that'll be fun. And then, maybe we can get you some prop bets this summer at the World Series. We'll show up
that
around.
would be fun, actually.
I know Jason Mercier likes to play hoops too. We can get him in there. Make some money during slow time.
or lose money.
All right, guys. Hey, I hope you like this segment of Ask Cheetah, and comment, on Twitter and on YouTube. What do you think we should make this line? How big of a favorite should he be in the free throw shooting contest? Can he hit 90% of 50 free throws? We'll do it, and we'll have the prop bet and do it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be back next week. Enjoy the games this week, and don't forget, send those questions in for next week to Ask Cheetah, and check everything out at wagertalk.com.